Today I have a taste for beef with rice and a hearty, amazing Brazilian style gravy. This trio was made for each other, and once you try it, you're probably going to agree with me. And best of all, there are not many ingredients. Here I have 4 beef shanks. They only cost $5.49 a pound, and I have roughly 3.5 pounds of it. You may replace it with oxtails or chuck roast. But these are really tasty, they're inexpensive, marbled, delicious. I'm going to season them with salt, about a teaspoon per side, freshly ground black pepper. I'm going to turn them over and season the other side with salt and pepper. And I set them aside on the countertop until I get the other ingredients ready. Here I have my large conventional pressure cooker that I'm going to heat up on medium-high heat and add 4 tablespoons of a neutral oil to the pan and let the oil heat up. Okay, the oil is hot, so I'm going to sear my first shank. Another one. There you go. After 1 minute, I'm going to turn it and sear the other side. Very nice. Now I'm going to sear the other 2 pieces. Now that the last 2 pieces are seared, I'm going to remove them from the pan and place them on a plate with the other 2 pieces. I'm going to lower the heat to medium to this delicious fond. I'm going to add 1 yellow onion, finely chopped, and stir it. Then I'm going to add 3 garlic cloves that I grated and stir as well. Mix it up, brown them together. Now I'm going to add half of a medium green bell pepper and stir it in. Let it cook until it's all translucent. A couple of minutes. I'm going to open up a small space in the middle of the pan and add 1 tablespoon of tomato paste and stir. Fry the tomato paste a little bit in the center of the pan. Slowly incorporate it into the green pepper, onion, and garlic. Now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of beef base and fry it together. The Better Than Bouillon is a good brand. If you don't want to use beef base, you may use 1.5 beef bouillon cubes. I like Knorr. And if you don't want to use any beef bouillon or beef base, you may just use salt. So now I'm going to deglaze the pan with 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Stir it in a little. Let it cook. Now I'm going to add the seasonings. Here I have 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, and 1/4 teaspoon of ground cayenne pepper, which is optional. And stir real quick because it's going to dry out the mixture. It's important to incorporate everything. You get this delicious paste. And now is a great time to add the 2 tomatoes that I removed the skin of and seeded. If you want to know how I remove the skin and the seeds, I have a couple of videos and I'll post a link of one of them in the description. Oh my goodness, smells awesome, tastes delicious. Unreal. Now I'm adding 1.5 quarts of water and stir. If you don't use beef bouillon or beef base and you choose to use salt instead, I would recommend you use unsalted beef broth or reduced sodium beef broth. Now I'm going to add the meat back into the pan. Let them get covered by the water. Stir a little bit. Turn up the heat. Since I'm using a pressure cooker, I'm going to clean up the sides of the pan and the top right here so it will seal well. Same if you're using a slow cooker. Always clean the rim of the pan. This is a great time to taste for salt. If you're using beef base and it's not salty enough, add a little more beef base. If you're using beef bouillon cubes, add a little more. Okay, it started to simmer a bit, so I'm going to put the lid on the pan. My pan just built up pressure, so I'm going to cook the beef for 30 minutes. I have the heat on medium now. The meat has been cooking, so I'm going to turn off the heat and remove the pan from the heat. I'm going to make the rice while the pressure comes out on its own. My rice is simple, easy, and delicious. To my medium saucepan, I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of oil. Turn the heat on to medium and let the oil heat up. The oil is hot, so I'm going to add half of a small yellow onion and 2 garlic cloves grated. And stir. Let them fry together for about 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes until you see that it's translucent. Okay, the onion and garlic are fried pretty good. I like it not too fried, but it's just right. So I'm going to add 1.5 cups of jasmine rice. I rinsed the jasmine rice in this little colander right here and let it dry about an hour before cooking this rice. My goal here is to fry the rice. Stir well and then let it fry a little bit like that for about 30 seconds. And then stir it again. Let it fry for another 30 seconds and so on, about 4 or 5 times. I love this rice. I cook it with a lot of my meals, and I have a few videos where I actually make this rice. One of them I even put carrots in it. It's really good. Let the rice fry until it gets a little golden. The rice has fried good enough, so I'm going to add 2 cups of water and stir. I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of salt. Stir. Taste it. It's perfect. Cover it and let it cook on low for 15 minutes. The rice is cooked. It has been 15 minutes. I'm going to turn off the heat. There's no water at the bottom or on top of the rice. Now I'm going to transfer the rice to a serving dish and cover it. All the pressure is gone, the pin is down, and I'm going to remove the lid. Ta-da! I'm going to remove the meat from the pan. The meat is super tender, so I'm going to remove it a little bit at a time and put it on a platter. Here's all the meat, and now I'm going to make the gravy. I'm going to skim some of the fat off the top first. I skimmed as much fat as I could off the top, and I'm going to add a ladle full of broth to the meat so it doesn't dry out. Now, this is how we make Brazilian gravy with cassava flour. It makes the gravy so hearty, so delicious, everyone. I promise you. I like this brand right here, and I bought it on Amazon. I'm going to place a link in the description. I'm going to turn the heat back on to medium high. I got 1 cup of flour, and I'm going to slowly add the flour to the broth while whisking it. And I'm going to cook this flour until I cannot see the flour in the broth anymore. See how white it is right now? I have to cook it until it's translucent. But don't forget to stir well. 1 cup may be too much, so I'll just keep adding it while the broth is not too hot. It's not quite 1 cup yet. I'm going to cook it, and if I need more, I'll add later. Gravy made with cassava flour is the best. And it makes a lot of gravy, right? I've been stirring it for about 7 minutes now. And at this point, you may add a little chopped cilantro, a little chopped chives even, any fresh herb you like. A little thyme would be good too here. It's getting thick already. You don't want to boil it because it might burn. So medium to medium high is fine. I think 3/4 cup of flour did the trick here because I'm going to let it reduce a little bit. Let it cook some more, probably another 10 minutes until the flour is fully cooked. I'm going to taste it a little bit. I can't wait. Oh wow, this is absolutely amazing. In Brazil, this gravy is very popular and it's called pirão. We not only make it with beef, we also make it with fish. And it's one of my favorite foods. And you get a lot of it too. There's a lot of gravy in there. So I've been stirring and cooking it for 15 minutes. It reduced some and it's super duper delicious. So now I'm going to turn off the heat and remove it from the heat. Here I have a nice casserole dish and I'm going to put the gravy in it. It's a lot of gravy, isn't it? Fantastic. That is so flavorful. Now I am ready to plate it. This pirão is absolutely amazing. Look at this consistency. Telling you, it's my favorite gravy. And as it cools a little bit, it thickens more. Isn't it wonderful? Put a little rice at the bottom. This rice is so good. Everyone who tries it asks me, what is in it? Like just garlic and onion. So now I'm going to add some gravy to it. I'm going to put 1 ladle full on top of the rice. This beef is so tasty. You can also eat this with a lime. Sprinkle a little lime juice on here. It's excellent that way. Comfort food at its best. Add a little broth to the top. I am so hungry. This is just what I needed today. Now a little beef with gravy and rice. Do you want some? Who doesn't like comfort food? I think the only ones who are not going to like this are the vegetarians. Everyone else is going to love it. The meat is tender. The gravy is to die for. 2 thumbs up. This is a delicious meal. I hope you try and like my recipe. Thank you for watching.